and we'll see Raheem Mostert. He'll be a focal point of his offense this week. It's the Desperados and the Condors under the lights on Thursday night.
As the weekend approaches, let's settle in and end the week right, with an outstanding Thursday night contest here with the NFL on EA Sports. We are in store for a great game today, everyone. Kate Scott and Brock Heward, along for the ride in this one. We love these kind of games, Brock, and that's because we got a pair of teams who've both gotten off to good starts this season. They find themselves with winning records as we now work our way through the front half of this schedule.
Yeah, we try to be pros, and every game, right, is a big game, but when you have teams that have gotten off to these starts, we know these are both playoff caliber teams. They look that way right now. And this is also a measuring stick game, and a great one where you don't have the consequences of lose and go home. Just a wonderful test for you, for me, for the fans, and most importantly,
Nick Folk ready to do the honors. And away we go, here in Rio. On the return, here's Ray McLeod. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So here comes their offense for its opening drive. They'll be led out by a guy coming off a pair of shortened seasons. The former Pro Bowler, now in his 8th year, Deshaun Watson.
a win is a win for him. Whether he goes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, Kate, or maybe he just finds the end zone once like last week. And being the team-first guy he is, he'd be more than happy to end the game with just 1 touchdown pass, or maybe even no touchdown passes, so long as they get the win in the end.
It's caught. That's Thielen. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Now it's the first carry for... And here we go. Right away, we've got a loose ball. And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play. Man, this is a tough ask of your defense so early in a game, Brock, sending them out on short notice and a short field after you fumble it away.
But these are the critical moments defensively you got to live for, right? This is called sudden change. They practice this, and it's your time to put out this fire.
So here's their offense, taking over for the first time here. They'll be led out by the 12th-year pro from West Virginia, Geno Smith.
Just an all-around great performance from him last week, Kate, in the win. Those 2 touchdowns he had played a big part in the victory, no question. But so did keeping it.
So just like all touchdowns, all turnovers also reviewed, and they want to take another look at this one. All right, so we all know what we're looking for here, Brock. Where did an elbow, maybe a knee, something touch down? And as it does, is the ball loose at that point?
Yeah, throw in forearm, wrist, shin. There's no question the offensive guy's screaming something hit the ground while the defense is hoping it didn't.
Take that fumble away. The officials overturn the call and say he was down. Watson now off play action. He beams one deep right side. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, third down coming up. Play action, it's Watson. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he's gonna run for it! And he's gonna bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
That's just the case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. He has it at the 13. And he gets him out of the deep part of their half. This is out across the 20. The Desperados back out on offense as we see Raheem Mostert again. And he's been carrying a great campaign now into the heart of this season. He's hitting top 5 in rushing yardage. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. First give of the game here to Raheem Mostert. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, Smith. Connection made to Raheem Mostert. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly, you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
A give to Mostert out of the gun. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. He landed Roberts coming over for the hit. We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Going right back to Mostert. And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that first down. Here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Complete beyond the marker. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that'll be a first down. The play clock ran all the way down there, and this is going to cost the offense. Everyone was set and at the line. The quarterback just didn't snap it before the play clock hit 0. Set him back 5. It's 1st and 15 after the penalty. Shotgun snap to Smith. That's into the hands of Mostert. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. 2nd and 3 now. Staying between the tackles with Mostert. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on 1st down. You just want some yards to set up an easier 2nd down play. But they will take that execution every time.
And they take this in for the score. The Desperados have a great first drive and get the game's first points. Geno Smith with a touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. It's Jakeem Grant with the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Condors are headed out, and we'll see Isaiah Pacheco. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Takes the handoff, now to throw. Thielen's got it, complete. And that's good for a gain of 5. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. Back to the line they go, it's 2nd down. From the gun, Watson. His pass is complete, that's Zay Flowers. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
1st and 10, here's Watson. Throw complete to Thielen. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Sticking to the air with Watson. Completed over the middle. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Running up the middle, Pacheco. Runs inside the 35. And he has it almost to the red zone, down at the 21-yard line. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And it'll give him a 1st down.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on the broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
Watson on 1st and 10. Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Kyer Elam makes the play. And the Desperados will take over as he records his 1st interception of our season.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, well, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Smith to the air now. Forced out to his right. He's on the move. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Tackle made by Kalijah Cansey. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 29. This finds Mostert. Ooh, play didn't develop like he needed. He goes out behind the line. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Throwing is Smith. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
So Rigoberto Sanchez, the man who will send this flying on 4th down. He was only needed twice in last week's win, and he gets this one away. Takes this in the area of midfield. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And they'll have a short field in front of them as they take over. New set of downs for him from the 46. Here's Watson, 1st and 10. Fits it through the middle. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. They pick up 20 yards there. And it'll give him a 1st down. Throwing is Watson. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Back to the air, Watson. That's complete, Isaiah Pacheco. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. And they'll have 1st down. From the red zone now. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Condors get it down to a single point. Quite the strike to his tight end, and the patience he showed waiting for that to break open. That was awesome, and it's rewarded with 6.
You know, it should be simple, Kate, right? In philosophy, it should be simple. Just plaster that big guy. Throw bodies at him in coverage, but stopping a tight end near the end zone is anything but simple with how deceptively good they are as route runners and finding that football when it arrives.
That one splits the uprights. And the Condors tie this game 7-7. Returning it from the 4. Oh, he's showing some burst on this return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Smith on first down. Finds a man right side. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Hauled down by Christian Izzian. We've arrived at the end of one on Thursday night. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll get back to the action in just a moment. All right, it's about time to get started with quarter number 2. Home offense out, ready to go. They're looking at 2nd and 4. And he'll get it up to the 44. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later, for that next third down coming.
Motion man left is Lamb. 1st and 10 now. Here's Smith. On the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Shotgun handoff for Mostert. Crosses midfield, still going. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. We've got the medical staff headed out after the play, and we see we do have somebody injured out there. Oh, it's the running back, Raheem Mostert. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Handoff running right. Pierce. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Running back sent in motion left. Play clock down to 0, and the flags come out. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. So they should be a little prompter in snapping this, you'd hope, Brock, after that delay of game. They'll run here, following the penalty. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit. Only a yard there, so they'll be staring down 2nd and 14. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. He's on the move. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that gives them the first.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
First down, Smith to throw. Escapes the pocket. Took off with it again. And he's tackled for a short gain. We've got a break in the action. Looks like someone was shaken up on the play. Medical personnel out now to attend to him. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Empty backfield now. The running back motions out left. He's on the move. Oh, he's calling his own number again. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, He's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
It's Mostert on second down. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Let's see what they went with on third down. Looking to throw, Smith. Buys time, rolling right. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
You know, that's a really good play. I know it doesn't get the first down, doesn't keep them on the field, but what it does is it keeps that defense honest. And I promise you, the next time in that situation, they'll have that run in the back of their minds. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Grant with this return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. This offense getting all set for this series. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. A give to Pacheco to start the drive. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Kate, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
Going to the ground again on first. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Play action, it's Watson. Gets everything he has under this throw. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. That was Zay Flowers, the intended receiver. And now it's third down. Out of the gun, here's Watson. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's running for it. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing he woke up to it. Able to make something out of nothing and at least keep him moving forward.
On comes the Condors punting squad. And he's getting the call for the second time this game. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. The Desperados back on offense, led out by Geno Smith. And while they've worried about his arm a little bit early, he's been happy to get some yards on the ground, looking like an effective dual threat thus far. They've got first down from the 31. The drive begins with a run for Mostert. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. We'll get an injury timeout here, and thousands throughout the stadium hold their breath. CeeDee Lamb, the player, shaken up after that one. Mostert. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Mostert trying to punch it in. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Desperados making a 9-point advantage. Raheem Mostert, the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Folk on now to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Desperados make it a 10-point ball game. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Grant with this return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Condors returning their offense and this running back to the field. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. That score made it 17-7, but they can cut it back to a one-score game here. It is charged towards the line. That's right around 3 yards.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
And he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that 1st down. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. A counter give here to Pacheco. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Right back to Pacheco. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 43. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Those defenses spend all week trying to find that numbers advantage. How can I get a guy free? Or how do I get my best rusher in a one-on-one to beat him and get home and get that sack? That was study put into action for the SACK.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Excellent. Again, he's under pressure, and he goes down. The defense calls a timeout, so that's their 1st. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Here comes A.J. Cole back to the field for a punt. And he'll try to hit this one well. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Fields this at the 19. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Desperados back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And he has run roughshod over them in this opening half. Pretty sure this is the exact kind of start that he was hoping to have here. Running back sent in motion. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now they face 2nd down. Back to the air, it's Smith. It's Dotson on the catch. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Out of the gun, here's Smith. He's gonna push one deep down the right. And that's gonna be knocked away, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You gotta read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you gotta react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Setting up the screen. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And they're going to have a 1st down. And again, it's Smith. Chased out to his right. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Timeout taken by the offense, their 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Another try following the sack. That one complete to Higbee. He makes it in for the touchdown. The Desperados will add to their lead at the end of the half. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he could rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
Folk on now to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Desperados take a 3-possession lead. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. McLeod now returning it. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Looks like they'll play it safe with a run to the outside. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Quiddy Pay there to take him down. So we are through 2 quarters, and it's the Desperados in the lead here in Rio. Now we'll head back to North America ever so briefly. Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up later this weekend around the NFL. Plenty of great games coming up in the next few days, starting with the last of our 3 London games. Pats and Jags from Wembley, early start, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on what should be a very tough opponent. And then lastly, on Monday Night Football, those fans will be riled up as it'll be a good matchup between their guys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. It was a former comeback player of the year, Geno Smith, who was sharp in the first half. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the 3rd quarter. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The home teams and this running back headed back out for a new series. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Smith in the pistol. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. This is ahead for about 5. Jesse Bates getting up for the stop that time. Offense to the line for 2nd down. They kick the running back in motion. They don't get this snapped in time. This is going to back them up. Everyone was set and at the line. The quarterback just didn't snap it before the play clock hit 0. All right, here we go. 2nd down. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. This finds Bellinger. We'll head out of bounds after a small gain.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Throwing on 3rd, Smith. Flushed out of the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. It'll be a punt coming up for the Desperados. And he'll try to have his 2nd punt top his 1st one. He has it at the 33. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And it's going to be their football coming up. Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Run from Pacheco to start the half. They'll cobble together a yard there. Patrick Queen ranging in for the tackle. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. Watson now. That's incomplete, trying to set up the screen there. This one intended for the running back. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Watson. He has the first over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. He finds 37 yards on the play to move those chains.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
First down from the red zone. Catch made underneath by the back. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. 2nd down now, 7 to go. They put Mooney in motion right. They'll run now on 2nd down. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, you call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
To the air, 3rd and long. He's on the move. Oh, he's gonna run for it. Decent gain here, but short of the first. The stop made that time by the rookie from Florida State.
You know, that's a situation. May have worked out better if he'd thrown the ball. His running ability gets him a chunk of yards, but still some work to do to get that first down.
Amendola able to put it through. And the gap closes to 14 points.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
His return starts at the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. This offense making its way back out now. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this 3rd quarter. Pierce up the middle. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a first down.
Here's a give inside to Mostert. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. They'll go again with Mostert. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. That one gains 7. And it sets up first down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. Running back sent in motion. Able to get it to Mostert. And they make the tackle at the 38. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that'll give them a first down. Shotgun snap to Smith. Escapes the pocket. He takes it himself. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Well, there was no sense in taking a risk down the field when a first down was just a run away. They'll get to reset now and figure out just how they want to attack a new set of downs.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Oh, this big guy is moving. He has the touchdown. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they can be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
Point after by Folk is up and good. And the Desperados stretch their lead to 21. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Grant with this return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. This offense headed out as we get a look at their running back. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, Watson. Pacheco hauls it in. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
He's got it. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That punt goes 63 yards. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Mostert. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
He's got a gain of 6 there. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Blitz coming for Smith. That's caught for the first. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. They kick the running back in motion. 1st down, Smith to throw. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Trying again following the sack. That one falls incomplete and brings us to the end of this 3rd quarter. We've reached the end of the 3rd quarter on this Thursday night. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. From the gun, Smith. He stays up.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And that hit right at the 10. Somehow, though, got a wicked bounce and makes it into the end zone for a touchback. Their offense running back out now. And all game, they have struggled to attack this deficit. Maybe they can do a little window dressing here. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And it's a turnover. The defense has it. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
This offense running out for a new series, led by their running back. Even though they've got a 3-score lead, still a lot of time left, so they're going to try to grow it even further. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. And it's caught. Touchdown! The Desperados keep adding to that 4th quarter lead. Well, they certainly wasted no time in making that turnover hurt even more. They looked to the end zone on the very first play, Brock, and they connected.
You know, Kate, I love it. It was an ambush to begin the drive. They attacked that end zone against a defense who was out there on short notice and not ready for that sudden change they talk about.
Folk with a point after. And the Desperados continue piling on to this lead. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Grant with this return. He stopped on the return at the 27. Another drive coming up for this offense. They watch their fumble turn into points, so feeling maybe a little bit of an urge to make up for that now in this series. Watson on 1st and 10. Finds him over the middle. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Watson. He's on the move. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. But the problem, defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own.
And they get to him again. And the back-to-back sacks, nice work by the defense there, sets him up with a 3rd down.
In a situation like this, you got to be a fixer. I mean, this game is hard, and you get into known passing situations, it gets even more difficult. But when you don't get rid of the ball and you take another sack, you make this 3rd down a near impossibility.
Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Watson. And on 4th down, that one won't work. It's incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. The offense getting set to go. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
It's Mostert on second down. And he's able to get this down to the 36. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required, along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
Nice run across the 15. And finally, he's down at the 5-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the second level and beyond.
They give it to Pierce. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! The Desperados keep running away with this. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Point after by Folk is up and good. And the Desperados grow their lead yet again. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Grant with this return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The offense headed back to the field. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun here. It's caught. That's Thielen. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. Here's Watson, 1st and 10. Escapes the pocket. He's on the move. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop.
Oh, man, those defensive players hate slippery quarterbacks. Near impossible to keep them hedged in or corral them behind the line there. You evade them long enough to turn a potential loss into positive yardage.
And what a risk, but he can't hang on. No interception, but nearly a turnover in the end zone. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Pacheco. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the 1st down.
Watson. He's on the move. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Watson looking to throw. And the connection made in the end zone. Touchdown! The Condors putting up points in a game decided. Zay Flowers, the touchdown. You always tell me, Brock, it is a whole different world here. Running routes, working in confined spaces, instead of having that whole field to spread out a defense.
Oh, spot on, Caden. Some players, that's the world they thrive in. Finding windows where windows shouldn't exist and then being ready for the throw to arrive. It happens so fast. Trusting your quarterback to make the right read and get it to you.
Kickoff taken at the 3. This return makes it up to the 25. The home team's ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Running on first with Mostert. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
That was the perfect play call for that particular situation. Gave him enough to pick up a 1st with some room to spare.
Going to the ground again on 1st. Another big rip for him. And they'll finally get him at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal, and because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
And he'll be stopped after getting this down to the 31. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. Out of the gun, here's Smith. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
Mostert trying to punch it in. And stop me if you've heard this before, Brock. They've scored again, and they grow that lead further. The Desperados continue piling it on here in the 4th. Raheem Mostert, the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
That one right down the middle. And the Desperados continue adding on to that lead. It's all lined up. Folk ready to send this one flying. Grant with this return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Their offense ready to take the field now. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. To throw, here's Watson. Couldn't bring it in over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Zay Flowers. So 2nd down coming up. Back to the air, Watson. Escapes the pocket. Oh, look at this, here he goes. It's the 2-minute warning from Rio. Condors trying to do some window dressing. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Throwing is Watson. Uh-oh, he can't escape, he's brought down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. They'll send out the punting unit. And this is going to be his 4th effort tonight. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. Starts his return from the 23. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And this is the type of game that's going to get people talking when people look at the numbers that he's posted running with it. The drive begins with a run for Mostert. He's out in the clear. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice. Once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
Going right back to Mostert. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. They'll run here, following the penalty. And he'll get it up to the 44. They'll take 6 on the play. Now they'll face 2nd and 14. So hard work rewarded as they take a well-earned win in this one. And this winning streak continues to grow as they claim their 4th victory in a row. With Brock Ewart and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Desperados are your winners as we say goodbye from Rio de Janeiro.